Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City. Daily FX market news.
October 13th, 11:03 America New York, S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, Dow Jones after the CPI print. It was another elevated CPI print out of the US and the S&P 500 set a fresh yearly low while the Nasdaq 100 put in a fresh two-year low.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
October 13, 10:35 America New York. Pfizer's new Omicron-Targeting booster produces strong immune response. The preliminary data results are the first from human testing of the shots in people at least 18 years old.
Daily FX market news. October 13, 10:30 America New York. Germany 40. DAX rejects resistance as Fed rate hike bets rise. USD strength holds firm as risk assets falter. For DAX, a rejection of resistance places the index at further risks of decline. 12,000 to 12,400 zone remains key.
Global economy. October 13, 10:28 America New York. Slowing Chinese growth is a recipe for global instability. Beijing contemplates a future in which its economy remains well below the income levels of the United States.
New York Times Business.
October 13, 10:18 America New York. The Social Security COLA will ease the sting of inflation. The cost of living adjustment will be 8.7% next year, bringing relief to retirees and others who rely largely on the payments. Prices have remained stubbornly high over the past year, even as federal policymakers have taken aggressive measures to rein them in.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
October 13, 10 o'clock America New York. Mortgage rates hit 6.92%, a 20-year high. The sharp rise in borrowing costs has cooled the housing market and put homeownership out of reach for many.
BBC News Business. October 13, 9:46 America New York. Government to consider fuel price comparison scheme. Transport Secretary says success of a price checker in NI could lead to an online tool for England.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
October 13, 9:30 America New York. Inflation report seals case for 0.75-point Fed rate rise in November. Another uncomfortably high inflation reading for September is likely to keep the Federal Reserve on track to increase interest rates by 0.75 percentage point at its meeting next month.
New York Times Business. October 13, 9:21 America New York. France sends gas to Germany to offset Russia supply cuts. The shipment of natural gas, through a reopened pipeline connection, is part of a deal that calls for Germany to supply electricity to France. A gas terminal on Thursday in Obergäubach in eastern France. New York Times Business. October 13, 9:13 America New York. Markets plunge after high CPI inflation reading. Stocks and bonds fell sharply in value as stubborn price pressures made it more likely that the Federal Reserve will continue raising interest rates aggressively.
BBC News Business.
October 13, 9:12 America New York. U.S. inflation rises more than expected in September. Efforts to tame inflation in the U.S. have pushed up the dollar and global borrowing costs.
Daily FX market news.
October 13, 8:40 America New York. U.S. inflation at 8.2%, dollar and S&P 500 on diverging paths on hot CPI. September headline inflation eased to 8.2% from 8.3%, but core CPI accelerated to 6.6%, topping the cycle's high in March and reaching the highest level since 1982.
BBC News Business.
October 13, 8:02 America New York. Consumers urged to cut energy use this winter. Energy watchdog Ofgem will launch a campaign to cut consumption and ensure the UK has enough supplies.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. October 13, 8 o'clock America New York. Reardon teaches moral reasoning to wet nurse. This is another in my series of favorite passages from Atlas Shrugged. Hank Reardon has just triumphed at his trial in which he was charged with unfair competition for producing a high-quality product and selling it at a low price.
Global economy.
October 13, 7:45 America New York. OPEC plus oil output cut risks tipping world into recession, warns IEA. Paris-based agency says higher crude prices would increase energy security risks worldwide.
Marginal revolution.
October 13. 725 America New York, Lifecycle Investing. Ian Ayres and Barry Nailbuff argue that young people should borrow to invest in the stock market. Investors often think of diversification as a free lunch. It allows them to maintain returns while reducing risk.
Finance and economics.
October 13. 701 America New York. As Europe falls into recession, Russia climbs out. Real-time data show a subdued but strengthening economy.
Global economy.
October 13. 7 o'clock America New York. IKEA cuts prices as material and shipping costs ease. World's largest furniture retailer returns to making reductions as cost of living crisis hits.
Finance and economics.
October 13. 631 America New York. Rates are rising at unprecedented speed. When will they bite? Long lags in monetary policy are no argument for inaction.
Finance and economics.
October 13. 624 America New York. Energy shocks can have perverse consequences. The 1970s offer unhappy lessons for policymakers.
Digital finance.
October 13. 552 America New York. Legal eagles fight for crypto retrievals. A group of solicitors and barristers seeks crypto industry buy-in to promote sensible enforcement. The post-legal eagles fight for crypto retrievals appeared first on Digital Finance.